We spend so much time building our digital fortresses, right? We've got our two-factor authentication, our complex passwords, our fingerprint scanners. But what if the greatest threat out there doesn't care about any of that? What if the most effective key to our lives isn't a piece of code, but just a few carefully chosen words? Today, we're going to break down how modern criminals are walking right past our digital walls by targeting the one system we can't patch, our own brain.
The terrifying speed of modern fraud hinges on a simple truth. Scammers don't hack your technology, they hijack your trust reflex. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't about outsmarting your computer. It's a calculated, psychological attack that can succeed in less time than it takes you to catch your breath. They figured out how to turn our most human trait, our instinct to trust, into their most powerful weapon.
So you're probably asking, how is that even possible? In 10 seconds. Well, that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the 10-second hijack. You see, the very mental shortcuts our brains have developed over thousands of years to help us make quick decisions, well, those are the exact vulnerabilities scammers are now exploiting. They literally have a roadmap to your reflexes. To really get this, you have to ask yourself a basic question. Think about your day. The constant pings, emails, calls. In an age of total information overload, how does your brain possibly keep up? Well, it cheats. It uses what are called heuristics, basically cognitive shortcuts. Think of them as your brain's rules of thumb. When you see someone in a uniform, you tend to listen. That's a heuristic. It saves you the mental energy of analyzing every single situation from scratch. And it works, until someone decides to exploit it. And the cost of exploiting that trust? It is absolutely staggering. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars lost every single year just from impersonation scams alone. And remember, these aren't scams that use viruses or sophisticated hacking. Nope, they rely entirely on hijacking that trust reflex. This number isn't just a scary statistic. It's ironclad proof that this psychological strategy works incredibly well. So here's how we're going to break this whole thing down. First, we'll dig deeper into the 10-second hijack. Then we'll look at the specific weapons of trust they use against you. After that, we'll dissect the anatomy of the attack step by step. We'll explore what's happening inside your brain on autopilot. And finally, and this is the most important part, we'll cover the mandatory disconnection, your defense plan.
All right, let's open up the scammer's toolkit. What are these so-called weapons of trust? These aren't just random tricks. They are scientifically proven principles of influence, sharpened and aimed to work in seconds. Think of these as the skeleton keys they use to unlock your brain's trust mechanism before you even know it's happening. The first, and maybe the most powerful weapon, is the authority heuristic. We are hardwired from childhood to listen to people in charge. So when a call starts with, "This is Agent Smith from the IRS," or "This is the fraud department at your bank," our brain doesn't immediately demand credentials. It hears the title, recognizes the pattern of authority, and just shifts into a more obedient mode. It's an instant bypass of our skepticism. Next up, we have reciprocity. This is a basic rule of society, right? If someone does you a favor, you feel like you owe them one back. Scammers flip this on its head. They create the illusion of a favor. The call isn't a threat, it's presented as help. "Hi, I'm calling because I've spotted a fraudulent charge on your account, and I'm trying to stop it for you." Instantly, you feel a little bit of relief, maybe even gratitude. This person is on your side. And just like that, you feel a subconscious need to cooperate with them, to help them help you. And the third weapon is really simple: liking and familiarity. It's human nature. We are way more likely to say yes to people we feel a connection with. Scammers know this, and they fake that feeling in seconds. You ever get a call from a number with your same area code and think, "Oh, maybe I should answer this one"? That's them using familiarity. They'll use a friendly, common name, or they'll match your tone of voice to build that instant, unearned rapport. Now, when you put these three weapons together, authority, reciprocity, and liking, the goal is to create something psychologists call cognitive fluency. It sounds complicated, but it's really just a feeling. This makes sense. This feels right. The story is smooth, there are no red flags, everything feels plausible. That comfortable, easy feeling is the danger zone. Because as long as things feel fluent and easy, your brain's alarm system stays completely silent. So, we've seen the weapons. Now let's look at the battle plan. This isn't random. It's a very clear, three-stage system designed to take you from a state of normal awareness to full compliance, often in under a minute. Okay, so it all starts with stage 1, heuristic deployment. The very first sentence is designed to trigger one of those weapons. "This is your bank's fraud department." Boom, that's authority. This is the crucial moment. If they stick this landing, the trust hijack is already underway. Now here's where the manipulation flips. They pivot to stage 2, establishing a shared reality. Suddenly, it's not you and me, it's us. Okay, we need to act fast to secure your account. I need your help so we can get this sorted out. See that? You've just been promoted from a target to a partner. And that leads directly to stage 3, compliant closure. This is the psychological choke point. Because you're now partners working on a shared problem, their request for information or money doesn't sound like a scam. It sounds like the logical final step to fix everything.
Now, I know this sounds incredibly manipulative, and it is, but the reason it works so reliably isn't because scammers are all criminal masterminds. It's because they are simply exploiting the way our brains are already built. So let's look at the science of what's happening in your brain on autopilot. So Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman identified 2 systems of thinking. System 1 is your brain's autopilot. It's fast, emotional, and intuitive. It's what you use to drive a familiar route or know that 2 + 2 = 4 without thinking. This system is the scammer's #1 target. Then you have System 2. That's your brain's conscious pilot. It's slow, logical, and analytical. It's the part that kicks in when you have to solve a tough math problem or ask, wait a minute, does this really make sense? System 2 is the scammer's worst enemy. The entire goal of the 10-second hijack is to hit you with so much urgency and emotion that you stay locked in System 1, preventing that slow, careful pilot from ever getting to the cockpit. Okay, we have analyzed this attack from every angle. We know the weapons, the strategy, the psychology. Now, we shift gears completely. This part is about action. It's about how you can force a hard reboot on your own brain and take back control. This is what we call the mandatory disconnection.
And it all starts with one single, unbreakable rule. This is it. This is the most powerful defense you have. Never accept an unsolicited identity at face value. It does not matter who they say they are, the police, your bank, Apple tech support. If you did not initiate the contact, their identity is by default unverified. End of story.
So what should you be listening for? These are the tripwires. First, it was unsolicited contact. You weren't expecting the call. Second, there's that immediate claim of authority or friendship. Third, they inject a sudden, overwhelming sense of urgency. This has to be done right now. Fourth, a demand for immediate action or info. And finally, a huge red flag, a request for an unusual payment method, like gift cards or a wire transfer. Any one of these is a warning. If you get 2 or more, it's almost certainly an attack. And when you spot those flags, you don't argue, you don't ask questions, you execute the mandatory disconnection protocol. It's a 3-step drill. Step 1, you state your intent calmly and clearly. I'm going to hang up now and verify this through an official channel. Step 2, you hang up immediately. Don't say another word. Every second extra on that line is another chance for them to manipulate you. Just disconnect. Step 3, verify independently. Go to the organization's official website, find their number, and call them directly. Never, ever use a number the caller gave you. So why is this simple act so incredibly effective? Because it does 2 critical things. First, it breaks what's called the isolation effect. Scammers need you on that phone, trapped in their little bubble of reality. Hanging up pops that bubble. And second, and this is the most important part, it gives your brain the pause it needs to engage System 2. The physical act of ending the call is a pattern interrupt. It breaks the spell and gives that slow, logical pilot a chance to wake up, look around, and ask that all-important question. Hold on, what just happened? And that brings us to a fundamental shift in mindset that you have to adopt to stay safe. In today's world, that feeling of instant connection with a stranger who calls you out of the blue, that's not a gift. It has to be treated as a potential weapon. All right, let's wrap this all up. Here are the key takeaways. First, remember, scammers aren't hacking your tech. They're hijacking your trust reflex. Second, they use the weapons of authority, reciprocity, and liking to bypass your rational brain. Third, their entire goal is to keep you stuck in that fast, emotional System 1 thinking. And because of all that, your one and only true defense is the mandatory disconnection. It's the only way to force your brain back into that slow, careful, analytical System 2 mode. So I want to leave you with a final thought, a kind of protective mantra to keep in your head. Instant rapport is a weapon. Earned trust is slow, verified, and patient. Real trust doesn't happen in a 10-second phone call. It's built over time. Anything that tries to rush that process isn't building trust, it's running a tactic. Be patient, be skeptical, and stay safe out there.